Hey everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina, and welcome back to another Stampin' on Friday episode. Today we are going to be using this stamp set from Paper Tray Ink. It's called Heart to Heart number 3, along with the matching die. So I have my Cuttlebug out and my A plate, B plate, my cardstock, which is Paper Tray Ink's Vintage Cream, and I'm just going to put my die on there face down, facing towards the B plate, and then I'm going to run that through, and I'm going to cut this out 3 times. Actually, I'll cut it on an extra one just to play it safe for stamping. This is my first one, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this out 3 more times. Alright, so I have my little hearts punched out, and I zoomed in just so you could see what I'm doing. I'm going to be using the Heart to Heart stamp set, along with my Martha Stewart little stamp press here, and 3 of my favorite Paper Tray Ink dies, or inks, which is Aqua Mist, Ocean Tide, and Sweet Blush. And I'm going to take 3 of the hearts that are from the stamp set and stamp them out onto these hearts. Now I punched an extra one just to be sure that I have it right. So this one with the little tiny heart in the center, I'm going to do in the Sweet Blush. I'm going to ink up my stamp here. And then I'll just line it up and stamp it out. So see, I was very crooked on that one, so that's why I like to stamp an extra, just to be sure. So I'll ink up my stamp one more time. Okay, so there's that one. I'm going to switch out my stamp here for another one from the stamp set. This one I'm going to do in the Ocean Tides. So there's that one. And then my last one I'm going to do in Aqua Mist. And that'll be this little striped one. Sometimes I have a hard time getting these tops open. There we go. Okay, so there are my 3 little hearts, and now we're going to go ahead and start putting our card together. For my card base, I'm using a piece of Aqua Mist. It's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card, and I'm taking a piece of the Vintage Cream cardstock, which is 1/4 of an inch smaller than my card base, and then a piece of pattern paper, which comes from this Basic Gray PB&J paper pad. And I really wasn't sure about this paper pad at first, but once I got it, I was very pleased with the patterns. And I'm going to take my pattern paper and adhere that down to my card, my piece of Vintage Cream. So I'm just using my ATG gun for this. Okay. And then before I adhere this down to my card base, I'm going to take some of this twine, and I'm not really 100% sure where I got this twine from. I think this came from Kimberly at My Craft Spot. So I'm just going to wrap this around a couple of times. So we're going to wrap it around 3 times and tie a bow. And before I adhere that's going to get adhered to my card base, but before I put that down, I want to work on my next piece, which I'm taking a piece of this piece of scrap paper that's from that same paper pad. I am going to cut that down to, let's see, I'm trying to decide how much to cut it down to. I'm going to cut it down to about, I'm going to do 1 inch. So I have that piece of pattern paper there. And then using my thank you stamp that comes from the same Heart to Heart collection, I'm going to use my fountain pen Jenny Bolin ink. I just ink that up and stamp this right down towards the bottom on the right hand side. And then I'm going to take my 3 little hearts that I have here and adhere those to the top of this. And then I'm going to take a dimensional adhesive, put it on the back of my Sweet Blush. I just have to get a needle just to pick out that backing, and then I'm going to adhere that right to the center. So it looks like that. And then before I adhere that down, I just want to see, kind of eyeballing this to where I want to cut a little banner edge. So probably right about here. So I'm just going to cut a slit right in the middle, and then from each corner I'm going to cut down to the center. Just like that. And then that's going to get adhered right to the front of here, using some more dimensional adhesive. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and adhere this down to my card, and I'm lining it right up with the edge of the Vintage Cream cardstock. And then I'll adhere this down to my card base, and this is just a little bit crooked. And then I will center that right on the front of my card. So that's my card for today. Thanks for watching another episode of Creations with Christina, and I'll see you next time.